What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. On the move again. This is kind of a continuation of last video, the state of third party, David Jaffe hating Sons of Sparta and all that stuff. And it's not just David Jaffe. It's most people with two brain cells to rub together hate it. Why? Because whatever. I mean, I know somebody in the comments said, "Oh, it's Mad Cat, whatever. They're the devs, and they make these little rinky-dink games." Still, you don't give your most cherished franchise to some romper room devs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're not good at what they do. What I'm saying is you shouldn't be making a Kratos romper room game. That's what I'm saying. It's just if you would have given that property, that IP to the people who made Dead Cells, then I'd be like, you know what? Okay, let's see. You know what I'm saying? Or the Shinobi dude. Imagine Kratos in the art of the Shinobi animation. Come on, son. That's a let's go. Let's go. I would play that because I'm like, yeah, I just like his animation. He's good. It would take forever, but he's good. But what I wanted to talk about really today, just touch on a little bit, is what's happening to Sony and what they're doing. Basically, I would say destroying their IP slowly but surely. Now, I say that, right? And you're probably like, why are you saying that? They're not destroying the IP, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, Sons of Sparta says otherwise. And you think about all the other things that they were trying to make, but then canceled, right? So you got Twisted Metal. That's another David Jaffe joint, but that's not the point. Twisted Metal had the game coming out, canceled it, boom, right? The Last of Us, Factions was cool, everybody loved it, canceled. The game was done, and they just like, yeah, nah. Spider-Man, it's not their IP, but still, they're claiming it like it's theirs. Obviously, it's not, because if it was theirs, they would have put it out so they can make all that money instead of having to pay the license to Disney. Still canceled. All of the things that made them PlayStation, and the PlayStation going into PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4 in that whole generation, all of those IP, it would jump, slap it. Oh, they slapping every one of them down. And now they're doing a God of War trilogy remake. Look, if it's in the style of the 2018 Ragnarok, whatever. Maybe it's gonna be cool. I don't know, but I don't understand how any sane person would have faith in what Sony is gonna do and gonna give you, because they haven't been doing nothing. They have been disappointing. This whole generation has been trash on top of trash, in the trash dumpster, on fire trash. The only good thing in that wow, it wasn't even a dev director. The only good thing in that state of third party was Kenna corruption of the whatever that thing is called, whatever Kenna 2 is called, and it is going to be on PC, and it's probably going to be it's going to be on my Xbox, because basically I already got it like that, you know what I'm saying? But it's these guys over at PlayStation, man. It's like I'm not going to say they don't know what they're doing. I am going to say that they are mismanaging their portfolio and their studios, and I know they're trying to course correct. And the thing is like, there's a lot of content creators out here. I was listening to Sigs and Serial. Sigs is I don't know how long he's been doing this, but he just popped up all of a sudden, freshman class in the past 6 months, year, whatever. That's when I first found him. And he's killing all these donkey unicorns and ponies, left, right, center. And he was talking about, I think it was MBG, was going on about freaking, what was he talking about? exclusivity, basically, and how Sony doesn't have to tell you that the game is coming to PC or it's going to be on Xbox. You know what motivation does it? How does it help them to tell you that? That way they can't sell consoles. I'm paraphrasing, and I'm sitting here and I'm listening to MBG pony out. Basically, he's a donkey unicorn for real. He can pretend that he's neutral or whatever, or he's like a sane person, but he's not. He just talks real quiet and stuff with his little teeth. And Siggs was going in, and I was sitting here listening to this whole exchange, and someone said in the chat, yeah, you know, they're the PlayStation dudes are saying, yeah, just wait till it's on PlayStation. Yeah, do that because you're on PlayStation. Yay, wait till the Xbox games are on PlayStation or whatever, right? Don't buy it on don't buy Xbox, don't buy it on Xbox, all that stuff, right? And then, you know, they're trying to have that argument, wait to play it on PlayStation, but they can't say the same thing for PC gamers, for PlayStation games. Of course they can, but they won't because it doesn't fit their narrative. So he's, you know, avoiding all these things. He's not, it's so painful to listen to these guys because they are in denial. They see that PlayStation is not it is not the PlayStation that they think it is. It is not the exclusives are the most important thing anymore. PlayStation, that's not what's going on. And the fact that they can't see that, the fact that they don't understand that Hiroki Totoki is the bringer of death to PlayStation. He is going to kill what you thought what PlayStation was. If he hasn't killed it already, that thing is in a coma, and his hand is on the button to turn off the machine, if you know what I'm saying. He's killing it. He's killing it softly with his song, killing it. His whole life, and his word. I don't even know the words, but that I think that is kind of what's happening, right? Like Hiroki Totoki, all the management, everybody's different. Herman Hulst is the last bastion, I think, but he has no power because they demoted him. Come on, son. They're like, yeah, co-CEO. We don't know. You get your ass back over there and make some games, and we gonna cancel them all. But you gonna make it. We gonna give you one, Herman. Oh, thank you, yeah. One game. He said, okay, Concord. Whatever that is, sure. Just make sure it's good and it sells 1 billion copies. And yes, it will. It's going to be the Star Wars of PlayStation. Okay, just make sure it's good. Okay, I got you. Right? Then Concord flops. Concord flops so hard. Yes, never forget Concord, the greatest failure in video game history. Thank you, PlayStation. Concord failed so hard that Concord is being used as a verb. The fact that, not me, I didn't make this up. Somebody said, oh yeah, that's Concord 4. I'm like, what? Huh? How did they skip like 2 games? Like, no, this one's Concord Marathon, this one. I'm like, wow. I wasn't even like, I didn't even make that up or whatever. I didn't like cause that to happen, snowball effect, right? Somebody in the ether said, yeah, Concord's a verb now. Let's not Concord this. They're calling flop games Concord sequels. High Guard is Concord. I mean, if you want to do it chronologically as far as release, High Guard is Concord 2. Marathon, I mean, they were calling Marathon Concord 2, so honestly, High Guard would be Concord 3. I don't know if Marathon is Concord 2 anymore. I don't think it's going to do as well as they need it to do. That's a whole nother thing. And then Fair Game $, that's Phantomware. That's not even a game anymore. As far as I'm concerned, it's Concord 7. I don't know, maybe they'll have some other games in between. I think that God of War is another Concord, right? That's like Concord 6, right? I don't know, 5. That's Concord 5. Yeah, nah, this it's crazy how PlayStation was at the top, right? And they're not at the top anymore because people say, "Oh, console says so." No, 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 no. That's not how it works. Zeitgeist works on your IP. Your box, you could sell 1,000,000,000 of your box, but if they're not playing your games on your box, you're not getting that reoccurring revenue. You're not getting that steady flow of yo. And so Microsoft said, "Look, we can get paid, yo. We can get paid off of the backs of these knuckleheads." And that's what they're doing. Microsoft is making more money than PlayStation is when it comes to their first party output. They're spending more money too. Well, you know what? I can't say that because PlayStation likes to spend a lot of money on games that like to fail. They like to make failures. They like to make expensive failures. Remember what Herman Ho said? He said, we want to fail as cheaply as possible. I was like, huh? I mean, I understand the concept and sentiment, but you're trying to instill I don't know, not a moniker, but a rule set of failure and how it would be good to fail if it's cheaply. I mean, some people say failure is not an option, or just make cheaper games so if they do fail, then it's not that bad. But man, like I said, PlayStation is destroying their IP. They're destroying their name. You know, Concord is not helping. Concord was the first chink in the armor. Not really, but it was a major chink in the armor. Like it was like an arrow to the knee, if you will. And they're never beating the allegations of how terrible that game was. It's not a game anymore. I mean, some modders are trying to make it stay alive, but no. And so I'm like, okay, this you see what's happening, right? So the zeitgeist and the popular opinion about Concord, which is attached to PlayStation because that was their game, that's negative. That's never going away. It's almost I think it might be surpassing. It's still too early, but it's kind of will surpass the kind of ET kind of thing where it's like, oh, ET was the worst game ever created. I mean, it wasn't, but it was bad. But for what it was and what it was attached to and expectations and all these things, yeah, it was a failure. And so Concord was, you know, how many times, 1,000 times more of a failure financially? I just made that number up. I don't even actually know how much $400 million in today's versus whatever they cost to make that one guy that made E.T. And that's a small game in comparison to, like, you know, everything else. But honestly, I don't know what the budgets were back then. So, you know, we can do that. We could do the math at another time. But, you know, think about the IP, like going back to the state of third party. Kenna, the sequel, was like a bright spot, right? It was like, okay, that's a cool game, I guess. I don't know. It's not their game. They're publishing it, but it's not their game. They don't own IP. That's the animation studio. And so I'm like, they don't. Their IP is dwindling. It's fading into oblivion, and they're helping it die. With this Sons of Sparta, I'm like, how? Think about this, right? You're in the studio. You're in Santa Monica. You make God of War. You make God of War 2. You make God of War 3. You make God of War Ascension. Let's look the other way. You made God of War Ghost of Sparta. I think they made that. You made all the God of Wars. You made the new God of War 2018. You made God of War Ragnarok. You made God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. I think that's what it's called, the DLC. You made all these dope God of War stuffs, right? And now your name is forever attached to God of War Sons of Sparta. Like I said before, somebody in my comment said, yeah, but it was Mad Cat or whatever, Wildcat, whatever their name was. That's who developed it. I'm like, that doesn't matter. It's about the quality. It's about the name. It's about the IP. It's about prestige. It's about all these things. The name, there's an association with that name, and they have diminished the quality of God of War by putting out that trash. Now, as a game on its own, it's not trash, obviously, but it is not God of War. And when they associate it with it, you might as well make a cartoon anime Kratos and have no biddies and titties, no blood. Just you slap somebody and they faint, and that's how you kill them, or something. Just you might as well have done that, because what you did was, I mean, it's pixel art and it's goofy, but it's not the move, and it's so. I don't understand how these donkey unicorns and these ponies don't see how this is kind of happening, like right in front of everybody's face, in front of their face in particular. And they're not like, no, it's everything's good, everything's fine. They're that dog mean with everything's on fire. It's all fine here. That's what they're doing right now. They're not seeing everything. They're not seeing IP after IP crumble, crash, and be treated like trash. Because Sony doesn't care about quality. They want money. Money. That's it, and that's all. And that's the story. That's what's happening right now. Yeah, man. David Jaffe's sad. Everybody's sad. All the God of War fans, sad. I saw the people in the chat, they were talking about, I think they were in MBG's chat, and they were like, yeah, nope, not for me. Or they were, people who watched the actual show, they're like, this is trash, blah, blah. And, Dirt and them's reaction, it's look, I'm not playing that game. I don't even care if the game was free. It's $30, by the way. I don't even care if it was free. I still wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't play that game. I'd be like, no, I got so many other good games to play. I got so many other better games to play. Thank you, Game Pass. I don't need to play that. That's how bad that game is. And like I said, it might be a good game on its own, but when you're in the sea of great games and you putting out this, you putting out Romper Room, you putting out Full Sail, second year Full Sail student games, no, it's not. That's not it. But anyway, I appreciate, sorry for the ramble. I appreciate y'all hanging out. So, like, subscribe. Hit me in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the state of Sony IP. They have a few in the boiler. They got a few cooking. But honestly, day by day, I'm losing faith in their ability to make games. And last thing, I think it was Luke Stevens that said it, and it was pertaining to, I forgot who. No. I'm sorry, my bad. It was David Jaffe, and he still has ties in with PlayStation, people who work there and stuff. And he said, and it was pertaining to Santa Monica specifically, and he said that the people in charge at Santa Monica are not the same as he was, because he was, the director of the first one, and did he direct the second one? I can't remember, but he definitely did the first one, right? So the mini games with when you bang into the threesome mini game and stuff, the bloody this and that and the third, just violent sex. Violence, sexy violence. It's just violently violently sexy. That's what it was, right? And he said that the people in charge now, the writers and all that stuff, are not like that. They are passive. They're just like, I was gonna say pacified. They're softer. They're not as hard. They're not as like kind of bold as what Jaffe was, David Jaffe. And I'm like, yo, that doesn't give me any confidence in this remake. Because if they go in and they remake it, right, like 2018, but they take out all the stuff that make God of War, meaning threesome minigame is gone. Okay, why am I playing this? All the violence and the blood and the rip the head off and pull the eyes out and do all the stuff, all gone. Why am I playing this again? All the blood is green now? Because why am I playing this? It's a sad state of affair, PlayStation, man. They don't see it. They're blind They're in denial. They don't want to admit it. But that's what's happening. But I appreciate. I'll talk to you on the next one. Till to wait.